Final matches have been incredibly tight, showcasing some excellent talent from all of our runners. And I think we're going to see another race just like that as we start with, as always, with the instructions from the king. And pretty soon we'll see what is going to aid our treasurers in their journey in this throne room. It is a torch, another torch, and I believe this should be a magic key.
All right, yeah. As far as I know, we are operating under completely standard flags, no special things whatsoever. So if you've been watching the races before, you should have a pretty good idea what's going to happen. And yeah, it's a pretty bright start to the seed. Brian Williams going right back and saving, though. He must be thinking about throwing those torches.
Yes, for those unfamiliar with the randomizer allows us to enable torches and fairy water to do damage, and the torches will do 6 to 9 damage, which is not nearly as much as red slimes with hurt more.
Yep, that's a little unfortunate. I mean, the attack isn't terrible, but you could do better. And Brian Williams going directly after the Magidrake there. He'd have trouble taking that down without that extra boost, but he's already got 8 damage, 9. It'll go down on any hit now.
Yeah, fortunately with 11 strength, an enemy like a Magidrake is not a bridge too far. If he feels threatened, he may throw that second torch, or just go ahead and kill it, and that'll be a quick level 2.
Yeah, and if we got a few stats there. Whoa! Button got stuck, I think, on hammer. There we go, level 2 with a little bit of strength and the spells of outside and heal more. Very interesting.
Yeah, I saw the flash of hurt more there for a second, but fortunately for us in chat, we get to see our struggles enjoy the early game a little bit longer.
Yeah, if I recall right, Angel on the hard reset, was that a magician that had hurt more or something? I think he reset out of.
Might have been. I know that at least red slimes have hurt more.
Or maybe it was heal more. I don't know. Whatever he fought before, he noped out of it pretty quick. But Brian's already taken a little bit of the lead here again. This is right off the bat. It's not going to matter too much. But that slime kill is level 3.
Level 3, and we might see a almost level 3 right here. Actually, no. He's going into it with 3 experience. So this will be level 3 for Angel FM as well.
So tied up that quickly. And just a spattering of stats there. Nothing, again, too crazy. We still only have enough MP for 1 heal more cast. But with these hit points, there's probably not going to be much of an opportunity to cast it anyway.
But we do find the town of Rimalder on brianwilliams42 side. Unfortunately, neither of our runners really has sufficient gold to purchase a key that normally he'd be doing right away. Taking a quick check at the shop, notice there's a hand axe there, but I can't read fast enough to see what else was there.
I couldn't see much either. But yeah, with that key, if we have the right sort of things inside of Tantagel, we might see a gold grind very quickly. Again, it pretty much has to line up to where the basement is either grave or mountain cave, and there's gold somewhere accessible to do it, but it definitely seems like that's a possibility right now, and Angel is finding Rimalder. Did he? Nope, not quite enough gold for him either.
Nope. Unfortunately, Brian Williams taken out and losing half of his gold by a magician. With 15 strength, you think that, honestly, those Magidrakes seem like a pretty good place to start right now.
Yeah, you would be doing 2 to 4 damage on a hit on them with heal more. It'd be pretty much an automatic fight unless you miss a lot. So that might be where he goes, and that's what we see Brian doing right now.
And he still had 1 additional torch left over from his initial load, so using it for a quick 7 damage, the next 3 does it, and not quite level 4, but getting really close. This will definitely be it.
Yeah, so we see Angel with just a little bit of a lead, but at this point, either one of them, almost anything they kill is the level, and it looks like Angel has key money, and that's what he's doing. He's going in to get that, to make sure he has that access, and maybe finding something that can really boost ahead at this point. There wouldn't be much reason to save a key, but yeah, we see Brian Williams hitting level 4.
Now, oftentimes you'll see runners wait until they have a gold for multiple keys. Not necessarily so that they only have to make one trip, but because you can check the armory, and if there's gold there, you can go immediately to the back to buy more keys. You can walk to the east and see Charlock Castle in this case, and another cave. Or excuse me, our first cave.
And maybe something the most exciting thing we saw right there. Level 4 had Hurtmore. So once he's done, I mean, he'll be able to get that gold and get keys whenever he wants very quickly. Oh, a Druid Lord could be a very good enemy for that spell as well, and that would be another level.
Yeah, very quickly going to take it out. Get that 58 experience, rock it to level 5, see what kind of stats we have. They should be coming pretty good at some point. 10 hit points is really nice to see.
Yeah, did gain the spell of Repel. Hasn't bothered to look. I think with Healmore and Hurtmore, pretty much anything he gets right now doesn't really matter. Angel, on the other hand, went through Swamp Cave, got out the other side, didn't find much before he got sent back, and now we get to see what we have in the treasury. It looks like there's an extra key, some gold, so we do have a gold grind available. Wings, and the last chest is an herb. Alright, it's a pretty standard treasury.
Yeah, the big thing about that golden key means that they could have immediately gone back and purchased additional keys in the back of Tanagal. Maybe they think it's more important to save it for the hand axe that was available in Rimalder.
Yeah, I'm thinking what Angel is thinking is that he didn't quite get enough, so go out, fight some stuff, die, go back and check the treasure again, or get enough money along the way to buy the hand axe. He did get an extra key, so he doesn't really have to go right away to get the key. He can do it whenever he feels like it. But I imagine hand axe, at least until he hits this level, is probably the forefront of his mind.
Yeah, of course, with that key in there, could have gone back and did a slow grind on the gold. But thinking of getting a little bit more experience first. Hurtmoring a Scorpion. Don't see that very often. Oh, and Hurtmoring a Goldman on brianwilliams42 side. Wow, he does not know that the treasury has that in it because he hasn't gotten his first key yet.
Yeah, he's probably just going to grind here and maybe do a little exploration here at the end, die, and then head straight to Remolder to get those keys. And we see Angel. Still looks like he's in for the hand axe, which is a great purchase at this point. 10 or 15 attack power for a very cheap cost.
And level 6 on brianwilliams42 side, excellent stacking across the board. And in addition, the regular heal spell, which is nice because you're not spending 8 NP to heal up when you don't have enough HP to make full use of it. Angel FM going back through the Swamp Cave, probably going to check that spike tile with the Hurtmore. And fortunately, it's a blue dragon. That's not really a Hurtmore target.
No, not the worst enemy to have there, especially seeing as they have the Hurt spell. Makes them kind of a soft target, but without throwing out extra Hurtmores right now, they don't really have the strength to do much.
No, not at all. And gonna go here, pick up some more gold, and now maybe we'll see what's in the back of the castle.
Again, we have a total of 8 possible things that could be down there. However, we've seen both sides of Swamp. So there's a 4 in 6 chance that something down here has a treasure chest. And if it's Mountain or Grave, we have a built-in gold grind that we might see Angel take advantage of.
We have a Cursed Belt on brianwilliams42, which means that at least one of the 3 search tiles is active in the randomizer. Anytime that you find a Cursed Belt, that means whatever item would have been there was replaced by Cursed Belt and placed on an overworld search tile, such as the search tile the 4 steps south of the Bath and Coal, and the Hawksmith search tile. And it looks like we have a grave in the back of the castle.
Oh, very, very interesting. That's 3 chests right off the bat that you can get to with some risk, but it's not too bad. It's easier to get to the chests here than it is to the mountain cave. And fighting Wolf Lords, excellent Hurtmore enemy right now. And we'll see Angel flying to level 5.
Yeah, that's one of the best, if not the best. I think Magic Wyverns may be the best enemy to find if you could have Hurtmore. But both the Knights and the Wolf Lords are excellent as well. Guaranteed one-shots with the Hurtmore for a pretty good amount of experience, as we find level 6 just like that.
All right, and Brian Williams going into the grave as well, basically following suit directly. I didn't see what do we have for Angel then? We have a Cursed Belt, so we have 2 belts now, and there is Dragon Scale. We have the glitch active right now. Looks like the last item was a set of wings. So, fairly mediocre top of Brave there, but we now know that there are 2 search spots active.
I'd say fairly mediocre in terms of chests, but in terms of enemies, this is exactly what they want to see. Nothing dangerous, and a lot of things that are very easily hurt-moreable.
And it's something to put a pin in for, because later you will, when you get to Mountain Floor 2, is the exact same enemy set as in Grave 1. So if you see Mountain and you've seen what you've seen there, you know it's pretty survivable and you don't really have to worry about too much.
Another thing to remember is that because the grave is in the back of the castle, we have a very easy gold grind. All you do is get the first 3 chests, go inside, visit the king to load those in, and boom, instant gold grind.
Yes, I would not be surprised if after a death we see one of the players go do that, just because we do have magic armor and flame sword available. Even with Hurtmore, it seems a little bit weak, but that extra stuff would be very useful. And Angel hitting level 7 now.
Yeah, Angel's using those enemies in the grave to great effect, able to overcome the experience deficit and actually take level 7 just a little bit sooner. We know that this is a Cursed Belt. Now he's going to find that out. And I think we're going to see a hand axe purchase here from brianwilliams42. He might be saving up for the full plate magic armor, or maybe he's thinking with the Hurtmore that the hand axe is just a little unnecessary.
Yeah, the fact that he passed that up makes me think that he's definitely planning for a gold grind at some point. Because if not, the axe can take you through most of the game. A lot of times you don't see people upgrade from that until it's Erdrick's Sword.
And he's going to get the bad news about the blue dragon. Now, bad news right now, but as soon as they have enough attack to regularly hit it, with the hurt spell presenting not quite as dangerous of a target. Probably going to go through the cave, see the other side. Angel FM doing a little bit of exploration. We do know that we saw a town, I believe on Angel FM's side, when he was grinding to the northwest of the castle.
Oh, I must have missed that. Well, Brian Williams is getting his level 7 and an Axe Knight. That's a great enemy to see right now. I mean, maybe not ambush you, but otherwise pretty good.
Yeah, that's a very easy 130 XP. One Hurtmore has a very good chance of taking it out. The Armor Knight on Brian Williams42 side is not quite as easy because it's a guaranteed 2 Hurtmores at this point to kill it. But as long as it's not doing too much damage, should be fine. And if they're still in Swamp Cave, that's interesting because that means the top of Mountain's going to have Armor Knights in it as well.
Yeah, that could be a run stopper in there. And level 8 for Angel, their first level with a very thick amount of stats. I think that was 12 strength and 16 MP. 16
MP, yes. And we see 2 towns right next to each other. First one is Garenham. Going to take a look at the shop, see if there's a silver shield, and there is. So I imagine a gold grind will come sooner rather than later once he sees what the other town is and what's behind here.
And it's possible if we have, if Mountain Cave is underneath Garenham, we might see a gold grind out of here directly because he'll have plenty of chests at that point.
The NPCs being a little trolly right now, but able to get through, finds gold, fighter's ring, and more gold. So at the very least, a little bit of a slow grind right here when push comes to shove. Fortunately, with the gold grind available in the castle, not necessary. And we're going to get our first look at the back of Garenham, and it is... looks like Mountain.
All right, and that's and another great enemy to fight, Star Wyvern. It's not perfect, but the attack. Well, I guess he has the hand axe. That's not too risky. So taking another one down there, 105 experience, is excellent at level 8.
It is. Star Wyverns are a little squishy, and fortunately don't have too much more hit points than a standard Hurtmore will deal. We see our first chest is a Fairy Water. So useful for 9 to 16 damage against an enemy, guaranteed unless they're a metal slime. And also to repel the enemies that we are defense breaking. Gonna see our first chest is a torch. First chest in the bottom floor, that is. Immediately uses it, finds another key.
And that looked to be some gold. We didn't mention it before, but Brian Williams did find the Jerk Cave, I think just north of Sharlock a little bit ago. Nothing he could do there, of course, right now.
Yeah, as our runners still haven't found any of the key items required. Speaking of which, what our runners are trying to do is eventually defeat the Dragon Lord and spread light throughout the land and banish our enemies. In order to do that, they have to get inside of Charlock Castle, creating the Rainbow Bridge, which requires a Rainbow Drop. To get the Rainbow Drop, you combine the Staff of Rain and the Stones of Sunlight, and you show the old man the token in order to prove that you are of Erdrick's lineage to do that. Staff of Rain is obtained by trading in the Silver Harp to an old man in another shrine. And is this simultaneous level 9s? Wow. Woo! 35 hit points. Holy moly.
Yeah, and as you see on the tracker there, the orange means that is nearly Ghost Stat. And now, of course, Ghost Stats can vary a little bit. They share right there, but just having those hit points, it puts them in a pretty good position right now. It makes heal more, a full cast of it worth it, and they could probably fight most Sharlock enemies with a little bit more strength at this point.
They can. And the Hurtmore is great for these red dragons. I'm not sure. Death Warp is something that they can do to get out of the mountain cave. And actually, with Garenham where it is, they may say, hey, I know there's a silver shield here. I know there's magic armor here. And was there a flame sword?
I believe we saw the flame sword both in Garenham and in Remolder. So either way he goes, he's got that too.
Yeah, so let's take the Death Warp now, make the gold grind a little bit easier to get to so you don't have to go into the grave. Save a little bit of time, go immediately back to Garenham, buy the equipment in Remolder and Garenham, and check out Flame and Silver and Garenham, Magic just in Remolder. Thank you, Schmike. I knew I'd seen all three, just wasn't sure where they were. But you're going to have to make the trip back anyways. Might as well do it right now. Of course, with 97 hit points and a large amount of HP and MP to cast the Heal More spell, I'm sure our runners are going to save just to be on the safe side. But I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal getting back to Garenham.
No, it was a little bit challenging. He'll probably save up here, and I wonder if he'd probably go to Remolder first because it's not that far away. With Hurtmore, with these amount of hit points, it would take a sleep enemy or trying to run from something, I think. Very unfortunate to stop him at this point. Just very survivable right now.
Yeah, and the nastiest enemies we've seen have been the Armored Knights, which are easily Hurtmoreable, and you can get some experience in the process, as well as the Green Dragons we've seen, the Blue Dragon and the Spike Tile. I think we saw an Axe Knight somewhere on the overworld. So, nothing too terribly out of the question. As brianwilliams42 continues his exploration and getting a little bit of XP on the way, is already at level 10.
Yeah, and that level 10 was very juicy. I think it was 11, 15, 6, and 9. So, yeah, just another good stat level. We don't really need anything in the way of spells. I mean, Stop Spell's nice at some point, but he's just kind of in control right now as far as the experience goes.
And he finds the town of Garenham, is going to get the information about the equipment. Probably going to follow the same exact path that Angel FM just did. As Angel FM is completed their grind, only gone to 28,000, which maybe they're just going to go for that full plate armor?
That might be it. It's a little curious. Maybe he didn't remember seeing the magic armor there. That's possible as well.
repel being used to repel away some of the lower level enemies. The repel spell is active when our runner's defense exceeds the strength of the enemies, thereby not only changing the formula for what the enemy does in damage to our runners, but also makes it so that the not deal damage at all.
Yeah, and to comment on that, the Erdrick sword text that was popping up is a text glitch that occurs when we are doing the chest glitch. It just sometimes it messes up the words, and it'll go through a list, and then I'll start going through nonsense. But no, that was not the Erdrick sword, thankfully. Well, I won't say thankfully, but having 5 or 6 of them would be a little excessive.
It would be able to use it as a expendable item, possibly, as you can use it in later on in the Dragon Warrior series. You don't actually lose it when you do that, but anyways, all right, brianwilliams42 finding out about actually he already knew about the Armor Knights because he saw it in the Swamp Cave.
Yeah, it seems like he is purposefully grinding in that area. Now, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him do what we saw Angel do, just use all of that MP. And it's great, neither player has seen what the other town is yet. It's like it's irrelevant.
And question chat earlier that I missed, and I'm just now seeing, have any of the enemies seen so far had Dragon Breath? No, haven't seen a DL2 Breath enemy yet, although we have seen Hurtmore in a couple. And Angel FM with some of the best... goes in just to walk out again, I guess. That was one of the fastest exits from Brecken area I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, it's Brecken Nopenary.
Brecken area is the fairy flute of town. Sometimes it's useful, but mostly it's just a walkthrough. Oh, wow, we have a Magi Wombo, whatever you want to call it, Hurtmore and Sleep on the Demon Knights, which is actually kind of bad. They're somewhat difficult to get away from. They're incredibly resistant to the Hurtmore spell, and they have one of the highest dodge rates of any enemy in the game. That's the first, I'd say, tough enemy we found.
Yeah, certainly the first one we've seen that of, anything outside of like red slimes that is more difficult than normal. So I'm going to probably try to avoid those.
And going back down to Grave, we have not seen what the bottom 2 chests contain. And given the easy nature of this first floor, I imagine it's going to be quickly going through, repelling most of the enemies, except for possibly... No, actually, 71 defense. I think they're going to repel pretty much anything in here. And we'll soon see what the bottom of the grave brings.
Yeah, it's this is interesting. Deep grave. Maybe it's even with 2 search spots active. I mean, how much have we missed? We still haven't seen Stone's Cave or Tablet Cave, and then all the search spots. So I don't know. This feels a little bit odd times. Maybe he's got the magic armor in the back of his mind.
I don't know, because so they still need to find 5 items. There's a possibility of 3 search spots, which means that there's a chance that those items could be on the overworld, or excuse me, in a chest somewhere. And some could be in Charlock in the case of the armor and the sword. Was that the fairy flute just now? Yeah, so one of the items that could be on the overworld search tiles found just there.
And that actually kind of decreases the value of the grave dive, which we saw Brian Williams did not bother with any gold grind. He might be, with all the search spots active that he's only seen 2 belts, he might be thinking, no, I'm just going to grind and I'll worry about that when I need to worry about that, continuing his exploration.
I'm just thinking, so we've only seen 2 belts, possibility of 3, but I mean, they could be in Charlock, let's be honest. But the chances of those search spots being Harp, Stones, and Token, all 3, are fairly low, considering that you could find the Death Necklace on one, you could find either the armor or the sword on one as well. So you may be thinking that a quick grave dive may be worth it. Of course, there's nothing quick about the grave dive. Ooh, we see another place. It could be the staff trade-in, it could be tablet, it could be the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave. And it looks to be the tablet cave.
Right, he does have outside, so I imagine we'll see that here in just a moment. And Angel, just a couple of steps away from the last chest and grave.
Yeah, we are all a little bit sad that he didn't check the spark over tile. Erdrick's token in the tablet cave. Absolutely huge find. And if you notice, the tablet cave is kind of out of the way in the middle of a swamp, so it may be one of the last places that Angel goes. Huge exploration advantage now for brianwilliams42.
All right, and Erdrick's armor in the bottom of grave, so that dive proved to be very valuable for Angel.
So both of our runners gaining key information and items. And wow. brianwilliams42 having the same information as Angel FM may decide to go to grave as well. Ooh. It's a toughie.
Yeah, the lack of armor and the gold grind equipment is gonna... It's not really going to hold Brian Williams back too much right now, but in about 2 levels, you're really going to start feeling that when you're coming up short against the Sharlock enemies that you'll want to be grinding on. Right now, he's able to kill just about everything normal, or even the base tier Sharlock enemies that hurt more, though.
Yeah, and we have 15 more hit points. So our runners may be looking for the Death Necklace as well, given that their hit points are substantially higher than what's required for the Dragon Lord, and their strength substantially lower. In the randomizer, the Death Necklace, when worn, provides you an additional 10 strength and at the cost of 25% of your hit points. So if you're a little high on hit points and a little low on strength, it could overcome that deficit, especially if you have incredibly high HP where you still get a good chance of doubles, and mostly you'll just be your heal more can only heal more so much, so having more than 130-ish hit points is sometimes not that big of a deal.
We do see on Brian Williams' side, he is taking the death from the Axe Knight. Again, every time we see him go back to Tantasia, we're going to be thinking, is he going to dive for the grave? Because we know that is mandatory, but he doesn't know that. And a lot of people will push that off to the last possible check.
Yeah. What you said earlier about the impact of Erdrick's armor and how fast you gain levels, how fast you do your exploration, I guess this is a real test of what that impact is. He does check all the way over there to complete his map on that side.
From what we've seen, I wouldn't be surprised if either runner starts getting through the swamp cave, because I'm trying to think of other areas we really haven't searched too well, and I think that's kind of the top of the list of what hasn't really been walked through much at all.
Yeah, they Angel FM sent back immediately after exiting the swamp cave the first time, and I think he only went back once and he didn't stay very long. brianwilliams42, has he gone through it all?
I think he's been in it a couple times and just fought the enemies there. Kind of used it as a grind more than anything. That experience gap that Brian Williams had built up has been compensated for pretty dramatically already. I think it's about 400 experience, and I don't know if you can, put that up to just the things they've been doing, like Tablet Cave is basically a minute of no experience, which helps catch up, and we know Angel will be eating that later, or if it's just the enemies they've been fighting have impacted that a little bit.
Yeah, the 400 experience in the grand scheme of things is not a whole lot. A Blue Dragon isn't nearly as efficient a grind as, say, an Axe Knight or an Arbor Knight. But it's only 2 minutes on a Blue Dragon. You can easily get that 400 experience. We have the town of Cantlin, so he doesn't need to check any of the shops because he's got the best equipment he can aside from Erdrick's sword, which has to be found. And we do have coordinates. 111 to the north and 6 to the west. So this is a situation where we may see a reverse count. That is, Tanagal is so close to the bottom edge of the map that you can actually go to the top edge of the map and walk down appropriate number of spaces and just go side to side, east-west. The other option is to save the princess behind that blue dragon. 6 is kind of awful for it. Tanagal is so close. Actually, not gonna lie, where Cantlin is in the north right there might be... I mean, how far was Tanagal from the bottom of the map? If Angel FM remembers, this could be an easy reverse count just right here.
I believe Tanagal is actually on the bottom of the map, like the absolute last spot, so it's a very easy reverse count.
Speaking of search spots, we have the town of Cole on brianwilliams42 side. So 3 search spots are 4 steps south of the Bath and Cole here, Hawksness, which we haven't seen yet, and the overworld search tile, which we know is 111 to the north and 6 to the west of Tanagal Castle. If Tanagal really was at the bottom, then it's... trying to do the math. 111... So it's 119 steps to the top, so 8 down from the top and just go back and forth. Oh, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, meanwhile, we saw the Cole search for Brian Williams popped up the harp, so that is mandatory. This spot for Angel would be either... or the search spot is going to, at this point, be the stones, the sword, or the death necklace, because that's all we have outstanding.
And all 3 of those items would be incredibly beneficial, especially if it's a sword. That'll speed up the grinding just that much more. And when you do find Hawksness, make it easier to kill whatever's on there, say if it's a red dragon or something. That flame sword is nice, but the Erdrick's sword has an additional 12 attack power on top of it. We have the Stones of Sunlight Cave right here. Must have been an herb.
Yeah, and it looks like Angel is in the exact same area, so he's going to find what Brian Williams found here just in a moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brian finds Cantlin in about the same order. And I believe Brian has already done a reverse count in this tournament, so I think he'll be very comfortable seeing that number pop up.
Yeah, I think it's to the east and north on the other side of that little bay.
Of course, if he does not go in that direction, he might not see it, but I think he's just going to do a quick heal here. Or maybe he got full... No, I don't think he had full plate money yet. That is another thing that's going to linger. Angel's done his shopping. Brian's probably going to keep checking, looking, and if he's not thinking about a gold grind, he might be checking for like large shields and stuff like that, and that could lose a bit of time. Time loss is a real thing.
It is. It absolutely is. So he does start heading in what we believe is the right direction. Oh, so I think we're just going to have a quick princess save. He may be checking to make sure that Tanagal is indeed in the bottom. It looks like it is, but it may not be necessarily.
It'd be a little bit difficult to check otherwise, but yeah, I think it is. Level 12 for Brian Williams. Again, another small amount of stats. Really, the high stat there was MP, which is great because we still need it. But and the Skull of Sleep. But we're still a level or 2 away from being in Go stats, I believe.
And if Brian Williams 42 finds a large shield, which he does, that negates pretty much any thought of a goal grind at this point, because your defense is fairly high, and with the HP you have, and it's going to go up even more, I really think it's not going to be an issue taking on the Dragon Lord with that low of defense. The map size is 120 by 120, but remember, Tanagal Castle counts as 0, so if you're counting from bottom to top, it's actually 119 is the most northernmost tile on the map. So you got to remember that. The first time I tried to reverse count, I was off by 1 for that very reason.
Alright, and yeah, did we see Angel go in for the Did he go into swamp to get the princess? That might be the best thing.
Yeah, he's getting the princess right now. Well, he's killing a blue dragon right now. I imagine it's to save the princess. He may get a few kills on the blue dragon before he completes the save. But yeah, there's no reason he would go in here right now instead of continuing his reverse count that we see brianwilliams42 doing right now. It remains to be seen that if the reverse count is going to be faster than saving the princess. Saving the princess takes a little bit of time and also adds a little bit of time to the very end of the game because the princess comes out and intrudes upon your journey.
Yeah, Brian, right off the start doing this, I think they're a little too far to the west from Tantagel to have it be over here, but, you know, commentators, nope, never mind. He found the Stones of Sunlight. Awesome.
And he is maybe 2 tiles from where Angel FM abandoned his search, so that's absolutely incredible. He doesn't have the armor yet, which we know is necessary, and we know that is in the bottom of the grave. We still haven't seen the staff trading cave, so Brian Williams is going to be able to turn in the harp immediately as soon as we find it. We know where the jerk is. I mean, grave is an easy dive. I know Brian Williams42, with grave being right underneath the castle, absolutely 100% he's going to go down there before he goes into Charlock. It makes no sense not to.
Yeah, we've seen some instances where people have done that. I feel like he's probably going to just dive grave. I think we've seen more people lose races by going to Charlock than win them, even in the odd situation.
Tablet Cave. We have seen Tablet, and Tablet did have Erdrick's token in it. So Tablet is definitely a thing you'll need. And it's in the middle of a swamp, kind of. It's not in the middle of nowhere, and it's visible from the other side of an inlet, but it is a little tricky to get to. So hopefully he didn't accidentally go past it and map off where it isn't. So Angel FM has almost, closed the gap in experience. But we know Brian Williams42, I think, has a slight edge in exploration just having done that reverse count, and isn't going to have to waste the time saving the princess in order to do the search.
Yes, what we have for Hawksness, well, it could be that, or it could be the Death Necklace. It's a little bit, never mind. You said 40% sword, 40% Death Necklace, 20% nothing, because we still haven't found that last belt.
Yeah, so... Yeah, you guys are better at stats than I am. I'm not even going to try. I know that if there is something there, it's 50-50 between Death Necklace and sword. That's all I know.
Yes, and if it's not in Hawksness, then we know that the sword is in Charlock, because we have seen everything else.
And if level 13 or 14 brings a large amount of strength and MP, this could be a single run-in. Doing a single dive for the armor is difficult because you have to use a lot of heal mores, overcoming the damage of the barrier tiles, and, everything else that's in there. But if you already have the armor, then the enemies do less damage to you. You heal walk as you're going down, and you don't take any damage from the barrier tiles. So, going down for the sword is actually fairly common to one and done.
Yeah, and this would actually, I think it would be beneficial to Brian Williams if the sword is in Charlock, because if you're missing 2 key items, then you're more likely to dive grave than if you're just missing 1, I think.
Yes. So Angel FM got a brief glimpse of what we know as Tablet Cave, and quickly turned around to go over there. So in a moment, he'll have his Erdrick's token. Still doesn't have the Stones of Sunlight. So we have Hawksness. There's a very good chance that the sword is right here.
And also very likely he'll be able to defeat whatever's here. It's an X Knight, so even better grind than what Angel was working on, although he's almost already out of resources. So here we go. What do we have under here? And it is nothing.
Okay. So that means... What haven't we seen yet? I think we've seen every chest except for Charlock, right?
Yes, we have seen everything, so that means Charlock has both the sword and the Death Necklace. And I believe if you compare what their experiences, what they've seen so far, Brian Williams has not seen Deep Grave, but I believe he's seen everything else. Whereas Angel has not found Hawksness, although he's somewhat close to it.
He is, and Angel still doesn't have the stones. So Brian Williams 42 not going to get level. Oh no, he's just going to run away. I imagine he's going to want to get level 13 before he dies or heals or whatever. But apparently he'd rather continue his search.
Yeah, right now he wants to find that Harp Cave or the Staff of Rain Cave. He doesn't want to explore anymore after this. And because if he has to come all the way back here to look for that cave, it's going to be huge. But the way things are looking, I'm thinking it's on the other side of Swamp.
It might be. I don't know if we've seen south of right here. Since Angel didn't find Hawksness on his first journey. Oh, here we are, level 13. 12 power, huge. 12-1-0-3, and a new spell of Radiant. Still missing Hurt and Stop spell, but overall looking pretty good for runners. Level 13 is definitely not go mode, but we're actually very close. A little bit more HP and be able to use that Death Necklace. A little bit more strength and not need the Death Necklace. A little bit more MP on either way. Oh no. Using those herbs to heal up just a little bit more. Lots of swamp in his way. This is where that Urgix armor would probably make a huge difference.
Yeah, this is he's skipping that swamp because he's not sure he can survive it. Trying to finish up the exploration here. Exploration luck can really be a thing when it comes to these situations because he's not gaining much of anything right now, having to run away from everything just to keep himself alive, and no resources, and just trying to find that cave before he has to go back.
Unfortunately, it's not there. I believe he has enough hit points to get through the swamp on the way back, but he's going to be running really low at the end. You see his screen is edged in red. That means he is... Oh, he's just going to call him hurt.
Yeah, we saw that before with Angel. He was able to take one down. I'm not even sure if he used the flute. Just kept smacking him down, and it went down for him. And then Angel's walking the Hawksness. Probably see him grind here for a little bit, although he's not going to find much else.
No, he's not. We'll see. Oh, he is going to. Nice. He's going into Grave. He's getting his armor. Well, he's going to find the armor.
Right, and that'll put us more or less even. There'll be some differences by the time this is done. Wouldn't be surprised if Angel drives out to an experience lead, and the fact that he has some better gear is going to help in the short term. That silver shield is going to persist, but there's no real reason to think that Brian's going to get one, unless he's just really scared about that agility. But with the armor, he'll be at, I believe, 75 defense, which is, you probably just take that.
Yeah, the having over 80 defense can make a difference in your grind. 80 defense is when you start damage breaking the Charlock enemies, so your Repel and Fairy Water will be effective for some in there, starting with Wizards and progressing up from there. But other than that, with the amount of HP that they have, not really a huge disadvantage from just taking damage from the enemies.
And again on Brian Williams' side, he's only found 3 out of the 7 key items. Now we know 2 of them are down here in Grave, so he's going to catch up on that real quick. But I had to be thinking, that was actually 4 items that he was short. And even though one of them, the flute, I don't care that much about. But pretty much had to dive Deep Grave at that point. I don't think the math made any sense otherwise.
Nah.
Again, this is probably beneficial for him. If he was only missing 1 item, and then you're looking at 2 things in Grave or 7 in Charlock, and you might be tempted to just hit up Charlock at that point, but not in this scenario.
Yeah, and if you searched everything on the overworld and you're missing the sword, then it's easy to plan, grind, and do a one-shot dive, find the sword, and kill the Dragon Lord. However, if you haven't searched everything, then there's no guarantee that it's a one and done in Charlock. And so you may be basically you want to search everything that you can before you go in the first time, especially when it's just right there underneath Tantale Castle. Brian Williams, 42, going through the Swamp Cave. Ooh, finding a red dragon.
Yeah, 99 attack power isn't great for this, but you have heal mores and you have a lot of hit points. It looks like he, I think, attacked once and then decided to nope out of it. Just wasn't strong enough.
Yeah, so the one thing we saw from the red dragon is that they didn't have anything other than a basic attack. Of course, that was just one. Oh, is this it? Right here?
Yep, immediate find, gets the harp, gets out. Angel still exploring, still looking for that. Still has to go up and get the stones, so even though he has a small experience lead, everything else is pointing in Brian Williams' direction right now. And the question will be, do you go through Sharlock? Do you set up a grind immediately? We know that Rainbow Drop is just off of the screen from Sharlock, so yeah, that's where the jerk is. It's just north of Sharlock, so there should be no problem getting to that.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a heal up, top off, and Remalder, go get the Rainbow Drop, and maybe kill some enemies on the way down to where the sword might be. You know that there's a blue dragon on the spike tile in the Swamp Cave. We know that there's a Axite in Hawksnest. That's quite a walk away. So it might be more beneficial just to hurt more whatever you can, or swing through whatever you can in Hawksnest or Charlock as you go for the first sword. Or you can just walk back to Hawksnest, which also I don't blame him for doing that. He's a great runner. He knows the math better than I do, and this is his call.
Yeah, I'm thinking Axe Knight is too juicy, too easy to kill. Any other enemy, his lower attack power by having that axe might come into play, but you only need to swing once on an Axe Knight, and but he's also probably thinking, I'm only doing this for one level, hoping that 14 is enough, and we are honestly very close. These runners will push that HP limit. If you have to put the Death Necklace and go under 96, we'd see them do it, I'm sure. This is, playoff DWR, and they're not going to be afraid of that sort of scenario.
Question chat, Jerk has been found. Yeah, it's just north of Charlock Castle, so when they make their dive, they'll stop by there to get it.
Yep, so now Angel has to just find the Harp Cave, which, I mean, we know he's going to have to go through the Swamp Cave to get it. It's actually very short from there, but the one thing that is always interesting in this scenario is that we know Angel doesn't map as a rule, so, and hey, that's a good point, and yeah, he's just returning out. He's not dealing with that anymore, so here we go. He's going to get his last item here pretty quick. I think he knows where he has to go, and Brian is going to level, and we're basically going to be tied at that point. So everything from here on out is going to be just about those final decisions and that potential RNG fest that can be Sharlock.
Charlock, the great equalizer, yes. The big difference is Angel will have the chance of repelling a number of enemies in Charlock, while Brian Williams 42 will likely not. Now, it could be that it's nothing but Arbor Knights and Red Dragons in all three floors, in which case that repel spell will still be useless with the Silver Shield. But if there's wolves and wizards, that's fewer encounters that Angel FM will see. Brian Williams 42, though, he already has the Staff of Rain, and so he's here in Hawksness on one of the most efficient grinds in the game, on that Axe Knight. He's only 4 Axe Knights, 5 Axe Knights away from level 14, and Angel FM getting his staff right here is going to take a little bit longer to get to that point.
Yeah, the equipment advantage is going to persistently be in Angel's favor because there's no scenario at this point where I think Brian Williams gets a Silver Shield.
No.
He made that decision early to skip it, and it did save a little bit of time, but as we mentioned before, it was a decision to save time early that could lose time later.
Another equipment difference I noticed between our runners is that Angel FM has a Flame Sword, which has 13 more attack power than the hand axe, which means that he has a chance of swinging on enemies going into Charlock Castle with his 112 attack power, and Brian Williams 42 has 13 less than that. So if it's say you're right on the edge and you want to get that last level on the way down, Angel has a little bit of an edge there as well. Of course, that could be a double-edged sword. Angel FM may feel comfortable doing that and doing the one-in shot with the grab the sword and kill the Dragon Lord, and it may be that that's not possible, and brianwilliams42 will grind out a little bit more, make it a safer dive. 5 power, 6 agility, 4 hit points, 12 MP. This is really close to go stats right here.
Yeah, with that, if he finds the Death Necklace in there, if he plans on it, that is, and the sword, if he gets the whole trifecta, that's 139 strength and 11 heal mores. That is, it really just depends on how safe that dive is at that point. But Brian Williams has a couple other things we know he has to do. I'm not sure about Angel, but I know that Brian has exhausted his herb resources, hasn't had a chance to catch that up yet. And the closest town to that area is Remolder, which does not sell them. So he's going to have to go a little bit out of his way for that. But yeah, these stats otherwise, with the sword, I have a feeling they are both thinking that they should probably go. Although the one situation here, I think, is that they might get themselves close enough so that they can fight a few things. Because with 131 hit points, you have pretty good flexibility to fight a few of the enemies on the way down.
Now the question is brianwilliams42 going to heal up and go back to Hawksness, or is he going to heal back and go into Charlock?
Yeah, and that's the advantage of what Angel did, which he didn't even think about Hawksness. He already knew that he would be going through the Swamp Cave, so he's just decided to fight the Blue Dragon, which with 117 attack power right now, he's able to handle fairly easily. But it's not quite as fast as the Axe Knight, but he's also, at worst, dies and goes right back there if he chooses to go to 15.
And we see that he already has more experience. This is incredible.
Yeah, the walk was a little bit painful on Brian's side, I think. But the fact that he's going to the inn here and casting Repel makes me think he's going back to Charlock.
Going back to Hawksness, you mean?
Yes, unless he has some wings that he's going to throw. That would be a possibility too. And yep, nope, there it is. He's throwing the wings. So, well, he tried to throw the token. I don't think that's going to do much.
Nah, but he is holding on tightly. Wow.
Yeah, this makes me think that he's going. He's going to get that. He's going to get the rainbow drop here in just a moment. He's going for Charlock. Angel, I don't know. With that experience where he is, I wouldn't be surprised if he does the same and just tries to get that last level along the way.
Yeah, especially with that flame sword, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be substantially easier to swing and not use the Hurtmore spell on the way down. Both of our runners, very close experience. Angel FM has the edge right now on... he's going to continue the grind.
Yeah, it's not a heavy time investment, so I get that. He also might be thinking if there's a huge stat drop on this next level, if he gets a decent amount of strength and a decent amount of MP, he might not even do a treasury check. He's not that far away from being able to fight the Dragon Lord without it, although he would need quite a bit of strength, honestly.
So we see the top floor of Charlock having Arbor Knights and Axe Knights so far. Pretty good run luck from the Arbor Knights. Ooh, a third one right here. And now we're seeing something a little bit more typical of the Arbor Knights that we know and love.
Yeah, the 77 agility is nice, but it's still negative on the Arbor Knight. It always feels like those rolls tend to weigh heavily on whichever side of the 50-50 you're on.
Yeah, I think he's close to 40-ish% to run away.
So yeah, a difference in... we've really seen different strategies throughout this entire race. Both players have been doing different things at different times. Brian doing a lot of leveling for a while, then Angel doing back and forth. It hasn't been a race that's felt like they're running neck and neck, even though that's really how it is. And I mean, what is this going to come down to? Is it a judge's table check that Brian does or does not do that costs him the time? If he's able to go directly to Treasury and both items are there and he doesn't lose resources, he's in great position.
Yeah, and given that he will likely need the Death Necklace to attack the Dragon Lord on these stats, that 1 out of 8 chance of, or 1 out of 7 chance of something to be on the judges' table is now 2 out of 7, and might be a little bit better odds to go down there the first time, especially since it's not that far of a walk, and compared to the walk back up to it from the bottom, could make the difference. Oh, wow, level 15, great stats, green across the board with the exception of strength, which will be easily overcome once they find the Death Necklace. Holy moly.
Yeah, and surprised to not see Angel warp out. That hit points after the Death Necklace makes it very safe. The fact that he got 0 strength, a whole nother level here. This seems unlikely. Brian is going to the judges' table, searching the stairs. Unfortunately, nothing underneath them. And will be, he's going to go for the full clear here in Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Angel's doing right here. Level 15 to me seems like go level. You've got, 13 Healmores in the tank. You'll have 115-ish HP after putting on the Death Necklace. You'll have 139 AP, which means you're going to need, 11 swings in the Dragon Lord herb to refill the one he used earlier on Judge's table.
Yeah, I'd be wondering if he might have missed something. And yeah, Judge's table in this scenario had a 25% chance of having something since there was 2 key items that we want and 8 chests left, or 7 chests, so I guess it was a little bit higher than that. But unfortunately, it was a waste of time, but if he's thinking one go, this is the safer play. Don't have to go back through here, especially since he doesn't have another torch and waste that 2 MP, which, I don't know, could be useful for something.
And the only thing I can think of right now for Angel is he's got a pretty nice little grind going on. The blue dragons are moving pretty quickly. He's gaining XP at a pretty good pace, and he may think that getting level 16 is going to make the one dive just a little bit more possible.
And yes, the crit rolls are actually done, or the dodges are done after the crits. They're separate ones, so it's possible. It happens, and every time it happens, it is glorious. So this Armor Knight blocking the Treasury might be the last thing standing between Brian Williams and full go mode.
Oh, so what chest is it? Oh, we didn't even play. We're so just enthralled by this action that we weren't playing the $25,000 pyramid. We see the Death Necklace in the $50 chest and Urgic Sword in the $100. So right now, Brian Williams has everything he needs, and looks like he's going to go there.
Yeah, at this point, everything is in Brian Williams' hands. There's the Sharlock RNG, of course, but it's entirely up to how he finishes the rest of this race. It's he's under his control, more or less.
It is. He's got a huge stack of herbs sitting in his inventory. He's got everything he needs. It'll, like I said earlier, I think it's 11-ish swings plus or minus 1 on the Dragon Lord. So as long as you go in with full hit points, as long as you can get the opening double without the back attack against the Dragon Lord 2, I really think this is a decent shot.
Yeah, with full resources and that Death Necklace equip, which seems extraordinarily likely. That's 139 attack power, which on average is 11 rounds, and with 11 Healmores could have up to 13. Very unlikely to get a double. He's got a bit of a buffer. Yeah, this is fully under his control, more or less. And of course, there is the high-ish AP RNG that can come into play as well. But let's see how he does.
Yeah. Gets the back attack and hurt more from Dragon Lord's first form. Puts on the Death Necklace now, so this is it. He's going.
Yeah, the advantage of equipping the Death Necklace in the battle is that you get that extra 30-ish hit points, and it does sustain you a little bit. He is not... Well, I think he might use an herb here. He wasn't going to worry about it before, but... No, he's going directly for Healmore. He must feel like he needs every second here. And he is going after it. And, this is a 5-6 round Dragon Lord 1 fight. This is crazy.
Yeah, 129 AP against the Dragon Lord's first form, 139 here. Ooh, gets the back attack. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that extra Healmore cast already is going to... That basically means he's lost 2 rounds between the two different things. So he's seeing 18 damage on the first attack, which is almost max. 10 on the second, rolling 28. Alright, that makes us 47. Again, his max hit points are 99. He could get caught in a double situation. It's unlikely, but the most he can block for right now is 50.
Yeah, max breath or a very heavy hit could put him in a bit of precarious situation where he's going to take a very small but definitely real gamble. As we saw someone earlier this tournament get hit for 52 and take an unnecessary death that way.
I have missed one of the numbers, so I've lost track of the damage, but I feel like his rolls have not been over average. Like, he's right around it.
His rolls have been very high and very low, so I think it's right about average, but ooh, I think right now it might depend on how many hit points the Dragon Lord has. Can have anywhere between 150 and 164, as you see another max damage hit right there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he needs some high rolls to pop up here really quickly. He is right. Yeah, he's got 2 attacks left probably at max and needs to roll over average to have a chance.
And there he goes. Second to last possible hit. He defeats the Dragon Lord 2, finds the Ball of Light. Radiance spreads throughout the land, removing enemies and allowing peace to return. And break out your GGs in chat, because brianwilliams42 will be your winner and will advance to the semifinals match next week, playing against... can we spoil who he's playing against?
I mean, at this point, it's kind of hard to hide that information, so if you don't want to be spoiled, you can leave now, I suppose.
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw earlier, but Chromaticalism versus Sausage Link was some of the most incredible Dragon Warrior action that we've seen ever, at least for me. I've only been doing this for about a year and a half. And it actually went to a game 4 because the third round match where they each went in with one victory ended with a 0.8 second differential, forcing the tie-off that Chromaticalism won yesterday. Absolutely fantastic. And Brian Williams42 will be facing, I don't know if I want to call him Cinderella, because he's absolutely playing like a seasoned veteran right now.
I call him the Scorpion King. Sorry. Yeah, that was a throwback to the second round match. But yes, GG's to Brian Williams. Great finish. Played it really right down to the end. Took the risk that Sharlock wouldn't be too bad, and got with it. Even fought down one Healmore, but rolls were good enough, and the strategy worked out to perfection. So he is our last semifinalist and a victor over a number 1 seed.
Yeah, incredible. Official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 46 seconds. So very, very fast. And Angel is not going to be too much far behind making his dive. And given the stats that he has, is not going to have any issues with the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, he could wind up with a Dragon Lord with about half of his hit points or magic points still there by the time he's done.
Yeah, and with us in the commentator's booth is Brian Williams42, your winner, advancing to the semifinals round. GG, well played, and any initial thoughts?
It's every one of these races, I made a dive I wasn't really comfortable with, but that was a very friendly Sharlock. A lot of armored knights, but they let me go when they needed to. So I'm still shaking a little bit with that dive, but I'm really happy with that race. So yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's definitely one to watch. you and Angel had very different paths of getting all the items that you needed to finish the game. Angel went ahead and deep dove grave earlier than you did and had Urgix armor, but you found the tablet cave with token earlier. You also completed the reverse count search for the Stones of Sunlight, where Angel tried it and abandoned and ended up saving the princess. So very different paths, but at the end, you both had level 14 and ghost stats at roughly the same time. Angel FM opting to grind out another couple levels to make the dive a little safer. And up to NG in chat also mentioning that Angel FM did a gold grind for the Silver Shield, and actually Silver Shield, Flame Sword, and Large Plate, where you decided to skip it. Was that a conscious decision, or did you forget about it and determine that it wasn't necessary at the end?
With the early Kurtmore, I didn't really worry about a weapon, because I knew we weren't going to fight anything anyways. I knew Silver Shield could be an option, but it was far away over in Garenham, and I didn't really want to walk back unless I knew I needed it. It was getting real iffy when I was running out of spots to search. But once I got armor, I knew I could dive Sharlock for sword. I thought about getting Flame Sword, but I was committed to going back to the Axe Knight and not doing the Blue Dragon. So I just said, I'm not swinging at anything until we get the Erdrick Sword. So I skipped it all, and I knew you need to go fast against Angels, so Silver Shield had to wait. That's for another seed.
Yeah, and that was that decision just seemed to be a bunch of different little small decisions that you both kept making differently. And I think you slowed down a little bit because of the lack of good equipment, but it wasn't much, and it wasn't enough to hold you back in this race. Was there a point where you were thinking at 14 of not going, or was it when you saw those stats, you're like, I gotta do this?
I mean, I think everyone's seen, like, you take that one more enemy in Hawksness because your brain is just, like, doing math, and you're like, 139 if I get it all? I guess 11 Healmores? I mean, that's a go, but I need herbs, so I gotta go back to Cantlin and get herbs, but I didn't want to go back to a spike and fight a whole nother level. And, you know, the only thing that would stop me is Red Dragons. And they got me in game 2, but they were absent today. So I think I didn't really think about 15 once I had 10 seconds to do the math.
Was there a point when, and this was something I thought about too, because you both did different grinds. I think Angel just fought the Axe Knight briefly until he ran out of magic, but when he was grinding before he was going at the Blue Dragon, probably because of how close it was to Sharlock, do you think the distance away from Sharlock that grind was might have impacted that decision?
I knew Hawksness was far away, but I also knew that I'm pretty likely to 4-shot Blue Dragons, even if I had the Flame Sword, which I didn't choose to do coming out of grave at the very end of the race, and I was walking towards Rimmildar and going, oh, do I regret not getting that Flame Sword and going to Blues? And then I don't want to 4-shot Blue Dragons when I can 1-shot Axe Knights. Even though it was a long walk, I think it was probably better in the end.
All right. Was there any point in this race where you were feeling just a lot of pressure, like maybe I messed something up, or maybe I'm behind, more so than normal?
When I hit the ready button, I think the pressure was pretty immense. No, I mean, I think I felt a little slow out of the gate, given how fast Hurtmore came in, that I was kind of dithering about in that desert or whatever to the west of the start and getting like Druid Lords and stuff like that. I was like, this is kind of small potatoes. I should probably try to find Axe Knights or something awesome. And then I found those Green Dragons pretty fast, and I camped on those. And I felt like, that's probably good enough. Angel would be off running. I better go off running too.
And speaking of Angel FM, joining us in the commentators booth is our other competitor. Forfeited the race. Not sure if that was an intentional death against the Dragon Lord, but GG's to you. Well played. Very tight race, believe it or not, between the two of you. What made you decide to go to level 16?
Angel, I believe your mic is not on. We see you trying to talk, but nothing's coming
GG
through.
Angel. Once you get your mic
Okay,
on.
so yeah, I completely brain farted. I was thinking I was at 70 something instead of 80 something. So that's what I was calculating my AP at. And that just completely threw me off. And I just thought about that when I did Death Necklace and Erdrick's Sword.
Oh, so it was you were doing the math on your own, not checking the stats screen, and that kind of backfired. I mean, I can see how that'd be advantageous, but that's got to hurt a little.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, shouldn't be making those mistakes, but I did. So
We were
That's
going over
hurt.
some of the. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that definitely sucks. Sorry, Angel. That's a crappy way to go. It sounds like it was really close, right up to the same point there.
yeah, if I would have thought about it, I was just calculating wrong, and yeah, I decided to go up to 16. So I'm like, okay, well, this will get me to 129, so or at least 130, whatever. And then I thought about it after I got the sword in DN.
Yeah, I think both of you were 14 right about the same time. Angel maybe just a little bit early. Had you both gone in at 14, I think it would have been just Charlock variants.
We haven't had those races. It's all been Charlock variants. This seed.
Well, with the high level play from all of you, there's no re-exploration, there's no wasting time. So even if you do different paths to get to the same place, it just all seems to be really about the same amount of time, the differences being the small little things along the way.
And there were a lot of those too. We kind of went over even though you both wound up in the same place at the same time. There was a ton of variance in this race where you both took very different strats. Angel, you did a gold grind. Brian did not. The reverse count. How do you feel about that, Angel?
I mean, I pretty much had the idea of where it was. I just didn't realize how. I thought I had to be further west than what I was.
Yeah, that was a big one too. Brian, you did the exact same thing. He just started directly south of Cantlin, went west, and was able to find it. Where I think you just had the global positioning off by just a little bit, and that changed a few things too. But there were some other things too. Like I think that the gold grind really helped you in the mid game, and there at the late one too, as you were able to fight those blue dragons at the end. Even to level 14. Brian went to Hawksnest to do that, and I think overall it was a little bit quicker on your end because of that, because he was just going in with a hand axe, and that difference in attack power would have been pretty crucial for the blue dragons. Was there any part of the race where you were just really worried? I mean, obviously not counting the end there, but where you were very worried that something was going wrong, or you just felt a lot of extra pressure?
No, I felt pretty good. I mean, everything was somewhere out there. It wasn't like close together or anything. You actually had to go and find everything. Like tablets in this little swamp. Hawksness is up in the northeast. I mean, everything's everywhere. So I mean, I felt pretty good with my exploration.
Yeah. When did you go through the swamp cave and see the harp trade? Because I waited. I got killed by a red dragon. I never went back, and I searched the whole world looking for that guy to trade the harp.
Oh, I got through really, really early, and then I died to a wraith. But I never saw a harp cave, but I figured it was down there.
I passed the red dragons and killed by a wraith. Yeah.
All right. So you see the schedule up there. Don't believe that next week's schedules have been made yet. We do know that it will be Smashy versus Tilo, and Chromaticalism versus our winner, brianwilliams42. Keep an eye on our schedule page, which is linked in chat, along with our Discord if you would like to join our community and check out this great game. As our runners schedule their games, we'll be playing them and continuing this great tournament.
So, again, this is the end of the tournament for you, Angel. Do you have any last thoughts to share?
Not really, but it was fun. Thanks to all the volunteers that helped out through the tournament. This can't go on without you guys. Good luck, Brian, with the rest of the tournament. Hope to maybe see you win it.
Yeah, thanks, Angel. And GG's. 5-0 in the group stages. A great run, and I'll try to keep it going here. Chromaticalism's been picking up this game real fast, and so you can't take anything for granted. And looking forward to those next matches next week.
All right. Well, again, GG's to you, Brian. Good luck next week in the next round, and good game to you as well, Angel. Great tournament run. We have a grand possible total of 9 more matches in this entire tournament. It's best of 3 next week for our 4 competitors, and then best of 3 in the finals. Although I know we do have a best of 1 third place match. Is that correct?
That is correct. So there will be 10 more races possibly. Best 2 out of 3 for the semifinals and final, and the best 1 race for the bronze medal match. And all of them so far, this entire tournament has been incredibly exciting, and it's just only going to get better from here.
All right. And if I recall right, at this point, we do not have a previous tournament winner of either tournament left. So we will have a new winner this time, regardless of who goes on to win.
That we will. It's good to see new people doing very well in the community, Chromaticalism, and all our seasoned veterans who've been playing for a very long time, finally breaking through up against the giants of Angel FM, Nest Cardinality, and other people who have been a mainstay of the community for quite some time. It just goes to show that there's a lot of people playing this game now, and everyone's getting really good. Except for me, I'm terrible still.
Sorry, the self-deprecation. So, it's been a great effort here. In behalf of everyone here, I'd like to thank Math Girl for the restream. Kind of our constant restreamer has been here throughout most of the time. Velu V on tracking. Elmore St. James, love doing comms with you. Thank you very much. And myself, just a great race and a great experience. You want to take us out, Elmore?
I sure will. As Aaron2U2 said, thank you everyone for joining us. And we are heading over to EMP Any Amount of Money, who, if you remember right, earlier in the tournament, had an incredible upset win over Nest Cardinality. Huge. He's doing very well. Unfortunately, he didn't make it past the round of 16, but is practicing more DWR right now. And that's where we're going to go join him. So on behalf of everyone putting this on, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you on the other side.